Hey guys, what's up? It's Isaac from Pirate TV. I'm here with my friend Raymond, class of 2019. Today, he's going to show us the arcade project he's been working on. Why don't you explain us what's going on here?
So this is my Engineering 2 project that I'm doing 9th period in the tech room. What it's basically doing is emulating old-fashioned arcades in a compact size. So old cabinets used to be very large, but now I'm able to run it all on a small computer. So the goal is to build a full four-person arcade machine and have it so it can connect to any sort of device and play any game that it wants.
Why don't you show us the games that are on it?
So right now this is Galaga. This is probably one of the more iconic games. So the way I have it set up right now is just sort of test layout to make sure all the things work. But we've got 2 buttons on the front and then the 6 buttons on top with the stick. So the 2 buttons are start and coin. So on my side, I made decided to put in a coin and then start the game. And then use the stick to go left and right and shoot. I may not be good, but I'll be better soon. So it has Galaga on it, but it also has a lot of other games on it and can emulate any sort of arcade machine. So it can emulate Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, Punch-Out, Space Invaders, Street Fighter, Simpsons. They can also emulate handheld consoles such as the Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, and Game Boy SP.
I mean, that's pretty cool. What can I say, huh? Why don't you explain to us like the process and like the inspiration behind it?
Well, I was working on a project last year to do up the courtyard, and I wanted to do something a little bit more that I care about. So I've always been a fan of the classic arcade, so I wanted to see if I could reinvent it, see if I could make it better, make it smaller, and make it more efficient. So the goal was make an arcade, but I didn't actually know how I wanted to lay it out initially. So I made this sort of test setup where I could easily access all of the bits and components. And after I did that, I'm now going to move on to getting the materials and building the full-size thing.
Now, how long would you say it's going to take until it's completely finished?
Well, most of the work is done now. There was a few hiccups with small little circuits on the inside, and making the Raspberry Pi work is how I want it to. But now that all of that's done, it's going to take maybe another week or two, possibly over the break that we have in a midterm week, and I'll have the full thing set up. Making it more, bringing back the classics and maybe moving into the modern era. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is VR. I know it's a big stretch from 90s to 2000s, but it's practically going to be a setup where I can move around my computer, which is capable of running VR, and the base stations and all the components that it needs, and bringing that so I can bring it anywhere I want, set it up very quickly, and have other people try it out.
Okay, you want to explain to us how you actually got the games onto the system?
Well, it was a bit difficult because I didn't actually have much experience early on about how I could load on Raspberry Pi, which is just a little computer there. But after a bit of research and a bit of working around, it just requires finding the ROMs online, finding ones that are nice and efficient to work with the system, and then loading them on through USB or through HDMI or anything. And then once I have that, plug it in, you have it run, it does a little bit of a boot setup to make sure everything isn't corrupted, and then you're able to play the games.
Cool.